Icon Swaps 3 has now been confirmed to be coming this Monday, the 10th of May at 6 PM UK time. So this is going to be very exciting. Finally, it has now been confirmed, because in last video we were talking about is it actually going to be released or not. Now that we do have that information confirmed, we can actually focus up on what sort of players could be coming out. What is actually going to be coming now with Icon Swaps 3 that is going to be coming this Monday. So taking a look quickly, this was from Icon Swaps 2. We do know that the amount of icons that we're actually getting, the amount of players, it has been significantly reduced. We can see here we have 3 and 3, and this is going to total up to 6 players, and usually it is just these two, the first two, that are going to be made available straight away. So if you just grind purely that night and you get all of the tokens available, then you are going to be able to get these 2 tokens. But generally, after the 9 tokens, you are going to have to wait around a month and a half, and then when those get unlocked, then you are going to be able to grind those as well, and then theoretically you can get all of the other tokens. And interestingly, the main thing about Icon Swaps as well is now that we do have the packs available. So we have lots of different 83 plus times 25, and we also have the icon packs as well, which are always very exciting, but they do usually take quite a long time to do. These are usually after the 9 tokens, but these ones are generally, all of them are actually before. So I think this is going to be a huge thing that we can look forward to. But in this video, we're solely going to be talking about the players. How can they actually get in? What are the requirements, the rules that EA Sports have created for them? So when we look at FIFA 20, this is what has been said for FIFA 20. And we can just read here that if an icon has already been released in Icon Swaps, it will not have any other versions released in a future Icon Swaps release. So for example, if we did already get someone like a Laurent Blanc that we did see in last Icon Swaps, we're not going to be able to see a moment's Laurent Blanc being released in Icon Swaps 3. So that is just what EA Sports meant. That was from FIFA 20 pitch notes. But we actually get this year a new updated rule as well. So the last rule is going to be still standing, but we do actually have a new rule. Because we have Icon SBCs and Icon Swaps working side by side, there is actually a possibility for the same player to have an Icon SBC and to actually be released in Icon Swaps as well. It just cannot be that same version. As you can read here, no specific version of an icon, e.g. a base icon released through an SBC, will be released again through Icon Swaps and vice versa, but it still suggests that there is going to be allowed of a moments version or a prime version of this same player being released, even a mid version in this case. So just a quick example of this, we do have Fernando Torres. Earlier on this year in FIFA 21, he did actually get his mid icon as SBC. He did get released as an SBC. So this is still possible for maybe a prime version or a moments version to be seen in Icon Swaps 3. So I just wanted to clear that up. We don't actually have any situations like that in this video, but just in case, EA Sports might go ahead and do it. So Torres could actually be the first player in this sort of prediction. We're not going to be linking these predictions with any tokens, because when EA Sports are deciding that stuff, they're on their own frequency, and we definitely cannot predict that. That would be literally impossible to predict, because we don't know. Sometimes EA Sports is going to give a really expensive player maybe as just the best player, and we're not even going to be getting any other good players in there. But going into this prediction, staying hopeful that we are going to be getting some sort of good icons. Fernando Torres wouldn't really be too bad, as long as he is not the best end goal player for 17 tokens. But moving on now, we do actually have Desai. I think this could be an interesting card for EA Sports if they want to release him. We do already know that many people just play fullbacks at centre back, so I think this wouldn't really be too much of a problem if EA Sports wanted to give the moments version out, and it wouldn't actually be too many tokens requiring that the EA Sports are asking to get this card. I think that would actually be quite a cool thing if EA Sports could give this to us. That is the moments version, of course, going for around 1.3 million coins as of now. Then moving on, we do have Stoichikov. Now, this is probably a player that EA Sports are going to throw in here. He's not really the most meta. I do think definitely a few Team of the Season cards that have been released, maybe Suarez, a few other cards like that, they are quite similar. 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. There's definitely a market out there for this, but I think if this were somewhere in the middle of Icon Swaps 3, it wouldn't really be so bad. Hopefully, maybe we could actually see this card in here. Then we do have Rio Ferdinand. This could be a very solid card. Similar to Desai, I think it could be a case of one or the other, but if we do get him, this is going to be, again, a very, very good card. English as as well. He could get strong links to many other cards, and it's not really going to be giving too much away. I don't think too many people will go for this card. There's a lot of sentimental value behind it, which is perfect for these icon swap cards. But because so many people are playing fullbacks at centre-back, I think it's not too much of a risk for EA Sports to put him in here. Then moving on now to a couple of Prime cards that we do actually have. We do have Prime George Best. The Moments version I can accept is just too unrealistic, but I still think this version could be quite good. Some people still lacking on that right winger side, right mids, right wingers. There's not really too many that EA Sports have been releasing. So for this, George Best can be a very good card. So if EA Sports want to give us to him, I think a lot of people, again, in that right winger position would actually highly appreciate it. So all for EA Sports giving us a cheeky George Best. Then we do have ourselves a Cantona. Again, same boat here. The Moments version would just be too far-fetched for EA Sports to give us to him. But I think this could be a really nice card. 5-star skill moves. This could be a very usable card. Probably knowing EA Sports, he will be up there, possibly around 14, maybe 15 tokens, but not necessarily the best player. I think there's still room to improve to get that absolute best player. And moving on now maybe to potential best player that we could see in here, Thierry Henry. This is going to be the Moments version, of course. 4-star, 4-star. I think there's loads of sentimental value behind this as well. And it's sort of the perfect icon swaps card you want to be putting in here. We have seen it in the past. EA Sports sometimes want to give more big names in here because more people are going to be appreciating it. So I do think there's going to be more chance of EA Sports. If they throw in a Thierry Henry, he can actually be highly regarded, highly accepted from the FIFA community. So maybe this is a card that we could see in here. Then we do also have Mateus. This could maybe be a Moments version that they would want to give us if it is going to be right at the end. These are certainly 17 tokens that we are talking about. And because it is Icon Swaps 3, I think it needs to be valuable. But maybe knowing in EA Sports, the cap is going to be around 1.5 million coins. But even the Prime version may be, but the Moments version is definitely much better. And this card is just absolutely incredible. So it would be very good if EA could throw him in here for sure. Then moving on to the last remaining 3 players that I do have added in here. It isn't really, it's not leaks or anything. It is just predictions, just to make that clear. These are just cards who haven't found themselves in any icon swaps, of course, following that rule. And I believe none of these have got any icon SBCs, or at least these versions, like we did talk about at the start of this video. That little rule as well that EA Sports did implement. But Puskás could be an absolutely amazing card. It's not going to be his Prime version. It's not going to be the Moments version. We're not asking EA Sports to give us too much here. I think if they could include this in here, it would be amazing. Just because of the body, who it is, the Puskás. This is just the type of card that we really do need in icon swaps. It's about the player, who he actually is, what he represents is much further with this card. And I think this would be definitely appreciated as well if we can see just any version in him. I think the mid version would actually be pretty perfect to see him in here. Then we do have Zinedine Zidane. This would definitely be alongside Puskás. It's a card that we all know, we all recognize, and this is the perfect type of card that you want to be putting in icon swaps. Maybe it is going to be the last card, the last token, I mean, for 17 tokens. It could be, but we're not really asking, again, for extremely much. It's not going to be the Prime version. It's certainly not going to be the Moments version. I would think the community would highly appreciate this. And again, it's that perfect card that I think he should find himself in icon swaps somehow. And this is the last icon swaps, of course, that we are going to be seeing in FIFA 21. Then we do have the last player in here, Ronaldinho. This is pretty much these last 3 cards. I really think they should find their way in icon swaps. At least one of them, if we do see them in here, I think it would be quite good. And surely it would be a W, I do think, if one of these cards does make it in here. As long as it's not just going to be the base version that is going to be completely the last card that you can get in here. Hopefully not. We're going to have to see how EA Sports are going to execute these icon swaps 3. But we do have 5-star skills, of course, 4-star weak foot, and I have chosen the mid version here because we don't want to be asking for too much. And of course, the Prime version and the Moments version is certainly out of the conversation to to be an icon subs, but I think this could be a really nice card. It's Ronaldinho. Come on, EA Sports, you need to give us. You've been given a lot of Brazilians low-key, so if you want to throw in Ronaldinho, I think we would all highly appreciate that. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Have I done a good predictions? Not linking them to any tokens, of course, because EA Sports, they are just very random with that. But if we had to, maybe sort of a mid Pushkash, maybe a mid Stoichikov could be sort of at the start. Maybe there's going to be one player before that. Then in the middle, maybe sort of like a moment Desai or a Rio Ferdinand. And then right at the end, fingers crossed, it is going to be someone maybe like a moment's Henri, or someone like we did just talk about, a mid Ronaldinho, or maybe if it is going to be a mid Zidane, I think that would still be a W. But we're really relying on EA Sports to do a good job here, so hopefully they will not disappoint. Monday, 6 PM UK time. Also, let me know if you want me to do some pack predictions. I could do that in another separate video. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.